States? Would you see on the road hawkers like this?
No.
You won't. They'll be arrested, right?
Right.
Good.
Yeah. Because they don't need a permit or nothing to do this, right? They don't need a permit.
No. Ironically, when they are driven away all the time, it takes just a few days and they are back. Some of them even come.
For termite mount.
No, this big tree.
It is 101 years old. This tree provides valuable shade in both urban and rural areas to enhance community spaces and quality of life. Many years ago, our ancestors used to have meetings on the cotton trees, and it's believed that witches and wizards used to transact their business on the trees in the night. So when we little children were afraid to walk on the cotton trees, our forefathers were living inside this tree.
Cotton tree.
What they do is to put that palm leaf, you see that? Yeah. And they cover this place. They live inside of the home. There are chimneys around the tree for the children who to store your food and your animals, so it becomes a self-contained for the family. The white people say that blacks live in the trees.
Wow. I don't want to know how long that took.
1.5, 2 years.
Aja Graja.
One artist or?
Did you see
just one
Texas?
That was his sole task.
Over here. You can see a couple of the pots.
It's a cocoa.
I thought I saw it. I think it was just a hanging leaf that I saw.
Straight ahead hanging down. You see that one right there?
Oh, I see a little one, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was one on this tree. Oh no.
Oh, is this one flowering? Yeah, that one's flowering.
Oh, it sure is.
That's rainwater that's captured?
Yeah, so it captures rainwater and
Yeah.
stores it. Yeah, it stores it all around the trunk of the tree.
It's been made there is the cocoyam itself. It looks like potatoes, but it doesn't taste like sweet
Yellow
potatoes.
stuff.
So this is serving as a whole meal in
Right.
the farm. Farmers get to feed on them whilst they wait for the season of the cocoa.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's a cocoa tree. Just how the cocos grow. These are flowers that grow from the bottom on up.
Oh, okay. It's right in my face.
You have to use a tool to get to them because if you try to climb the tree, you're going to damage the flowers.
Oldest trees we are having. They are not going to become anything bigger than this. Cocoa trees don't grow to become big like this tree. This is a shading plant. But what happens is with the Amel variety, it grows really tall. The hybrid and Amazonia are always seen to be very short. That is how you can use to do. So we are here at the point where we do the fermentation and the drying process. So as I said, Ghana, our cocoa beans are classified to be quality based on this particular process. So if you don't do this process, your beans are not classified to be quality. Now the beans here have already been fermented and dried also, so they are ready to be sold out for the production of the chocolates, Milo and brown gold. Now from here you'll be able to smell, taste and also know the color that we are supposed to get. So we are supposed to get 3 things: the color, the taste is arranged. And it ranges from 1 to 55, not more than 55 and not less than 1. So we are going to try. Please, we don't chew, we don't bite. When you chew or you bite, it's bitter. So just suck on it. Afterwards, you can leave the bean anywhere in the farm, then it's going to start germinating. So let's try this one. Cover, fermentation begins. But during the process we don't allow air to go through the beans, otherwise they will start to germinate, and we don't want the beans to start germinating. So we have to put some sticks and stones.
When the fall is really heavy, it forms like a rainbow just on top of the two waters.
Oh, you can't see me?
The water is classified being a male and a female, with the male being the big one and the female being the small one.
Oh, I was trying to show you where I was. I want you to see, we're here at Boti Falls. We're here to see the waterfalls.
Oh, the fall.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's very nice.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. Well, so far, going through this is nice. Yeah. And we went to the gardens.
Oh, the garden, every garden.
Yeah, I think they said it's the oldest and only one you guys have, the national. Yeah. Yeah.
You like it there too?
Yeah, it was very nice. The tour guide, man, he was very informative, educating us on a lot of the medicine. Everything is resourceful, yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys been to the ship of no return and all that?
No, we're doing that when we leave on Friday. That area is called Elmina. Yeah, we'll be staying there for 2 days.
Oh, okay. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
But so far you don't have any time.
Oh yeah.
So, when is it?
To a few stores and boutiques. Yeah, she was. Oh, and then to 2 different malls.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you went with your husband?
No, he came. He came. And my sister and her husband came too. So she hired, or she had her husband's driver take us around. Oh wow. Swimming in that bay?
No, we ain't doing that one.
Okay, love. But I'll call you. She was amazing. Okay.
That's India, I believe.
What's growing in front of it?
That one is the comb.
Oh.
So this particular one is the male. That's the female.
Ooh, why you think you? Oh goodness, he done took your bees. Thought it was some food.
With me.
He popped
That's
his
fine.
on his bees.
They are social, but just that they like.
He might have thought it was food then.
Yeah, he thought it was
He cooked your beef? Like, I thought you was my homie. I thought you was my ace. Now I want to slap the taste out your mouth.
Me neither. He looking for something. Hold on, let me make sure I ain't got nothing that look like no food on me.
He said food on his list.
He mad at me like, man, you teasing me. I thought it was food.
Yeah, I bet he will.
So those over here too are called the real. And they are large flightless birds mostly found in South America.
Flightless and frightless. Yeah.
Okay.
That's 5 of them.
They eat them all. Anybody else? Before it's done?
Who else want to do it?
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, cuz. That's what y'all just did for decoration. Yeah, with it.
So we can get to that. Within the attachment areas. Now, on our right, that is an antelope called the bushback.
Oh, the one that just went hot now?
Yeah. These are pony, Shetland ponies. They were found in from South, what do you call Scotland.
Oh, okay.
They'll be taking me between the rubber trees.
Yes, because there was a herd of them. I forget the name of them.
Oh yeah, that was running. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We are going for it.
Oh no, don't call him.
Man, they got antlers. They can kill us.
Right.
But I trust them though.
You doing? See how they are.
Where the bees?
Yeah, where did it?
Yeah. Okay, Joe. Yo, those they ain't no joke.
Ooh, watch the dog.
Thanks for the warning.
Okay.
I was too busy watching them.
Okay. So, we have the wildebeest over there.
Oh,
They look like the bull, the bison, the buffalo, the yak, but they are not. They are antelope species. They're called wildebeest.
Are they? They're not big as far as that.
We have 91 species of antelope in the world. The biggest is eland. The smallest is royal antelope, locally known as Adwa. This is the number 13 largest antelope in the world. We have 91 species of them.
91.
91, yes.
Wow, 91.
One species. More than
Cassava and fermented something else. But it sounds like a similar name. Let me find out if fermented antelope.
So the wildebeest is a member of the antelope family. They have a large box-like head with two curving horns in the form of a bovine facial feature. They look like a bull. Animals, when the female is pregnant, you can't cross it, unlike human. If you try double
Is that
miscarriage.
a baby
Yeah.
eating?
Yeah. Just 8 months, getting to 9 months.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So you will never find two zebras with the same stripes or patterns, just like the human fingerprint or the thumb print.
Okay, red babe.
Everybody else left. They're like, man, this is greedy. Oh no, there you go. They're over there.
They say the mama's boy.
Next.
Enough.
Nice.
3-bedroom homes for 6 people with a private pool.
Wow.
Going for 30,000 cities per night. Then you have to convert because I had $1 rating yesterday. So
30,000 seaters a night?
yeah.
We have 2 bedrooms for 4 people with a private pool as well, going for 20,000.
See?
Already getting close.
They do look crazy. Don't be too inquisitive. These things know what time to eat.
Go back up off this one.
What are you trying to do?
Come roll up on the back side. Let's get in this damn box before they get you. Alright, so pull your hole, player. Alright, we're in the box.
Sorry.
Right. So
So you feeding it?
Bottom.
wow.
Yeah, strong.
Okay, keep on.
You took it off.
So you ain't got time for that.
You finished?
Messing around.
Waiting for you.
Eat some feet. There you go. Why'd you do this with a timer? Wait, did it record? Cause
Now tell me all about how 15 minutes can save me on my insurance. You're not giving me any information.
Hey, man.
What about you? Is there anything you got to tell me? My insurance is high. I live in the city of Philadelphia. What can you tell me? What can I look for?
I'm just gonna start fighting a little bit. Like, hold on.
They have 3 stomach tubules and they spit when they are agitated or provoked. And the female would also spit if she doesn't feel like mating and the male is making attempts at her. Their spit is slightly acidic and smells very bad. They also like to aim it in their victims'
oh, Julie. Yeah. Very smart. Oh, I love your footage. You got the best one.
Nobody in here, right?
They not be.
So these are the new ones that they are making, the normal ones. But for example, behind you is the brass band. Someone who is on lower, who belongs to the brass band. Yes, he or she will do something like this.
okay.
So the whole body goes into it, and the whole thing goes into the ground.
Yeah.
That's
When are they coming for it? Next week.
That present you wanted to give them.
Made it on their behalf. The dream that they had here 400, 300 years ago, it's what you are achieving today.
I got somebody phone real quick.
They could sometimes walk for over 6 months. Not in shoes like we are doing, they were walking barefooted with very heavy metal balls attached to their feet. Many of our ancestors died during this journey because they were fed just once a day. Just once. After walking several kilometers, they were being fed just once. So some died out of starvation. Some died because they got drowned in rivers. These are people who were brought from places they don't have the kind of rivers we have here. So whenever they get... The reason why we knock here is because several of our ancestors died on this journey. Thousands of them were dumped into the river we are going to. several of them also dumped into this forest. So whenever we are here, we knock to seek for permission from them that we are coming into their presence. So those who died by getting drowned in the rivers, they were being brought from places they don't have the kind of rivers we have around us here. So whenever they're on that journey, they get into the river. Sometimes some of them get drowned. When they died through that method, they took them off the chain and dumped the individual back into the river.
Just steps.
Because greater portions of the continent were thick forests, whenever they are on the journey, they get to a place where they sense the presence of wild animals. Those in chains with them that they are moving and then bringing them to these places. When they sense the presence of the wild animals, they take those who are not cooperating with them, the ones they would turn as the stubborn ones, they take them off the chain them to trees in this form. They lash their bare back. When there are cuts and the blood is coming out, they leave that person attached to the tree. By so doing, the animals in the forest are able to sense the smell of the blood. They come closer towards that person and they feed on him or her. Women were kidnapped, children were kidnapped, young men were kidnapped. They have several camps along the route. So once they are on their journey, when they are tired, they stay there to relax. Whilst relaxing, they have spies among the raiders. The spies will go and then spy around to see if they can get people to kidnap. On occasions where they get some, they put those people in chains and in shackles. They walk all the way from wherever they got them, bring them to the main camp, and then they continue the journey from there. They were walking from thousands of miles till they finally got here. Upon arrival at the market where we are going, they were chained to bamboos. They stayed there sometimes for over a month, waiting for the arrival of the merchants. The merchants were coming from 3 different castles: Cape Coast Castle, Elmina Castle, and Fort Amsterdam in Abanzi. Abanzi is a community on your way from Accra going towards Cape Coast. There is a fort up there called Fort Amsterdam. These are the 3 places the merchants were coming from to get access to our ancestors from the river where we are going. They were being fed just once, but upon arrival at the market here, they fed them a bit better than how they were being fed all the way from where they were brought from. Don't be happy, it wasn't because they loved them. It was because by the time they get here, many of them have lost energy and have lost weight. So in feeding it, by so doing, they are able to regain some of their lost energy, so that if they are to be sold, they'll be sold in healthy condition. Because the Europeans were looking for people who were healthy, well built, and very energetic. Because the journey ahead, all the way through this part we are walking on, they walked barefooted, still in chains and in shackles. So sometimes they are even in chains for over 10 months, all the way from wherever they were kidnapped from until they get to the New World. 3 different activities happen from the park here. The first one is the last bath. It is where we are going. That one ancestors had their final bath on the motherland before they were sold off. That bath was to prepare them to look attractive and presentable, so that when they are to be sold, the buyers will see them attractive and then pay a better price from there. The next activity is the first auction. After preparing them, they take them to the market proper to be sold. The whole of this section we are walking through now were all parts of the slave market at the time. So the bamboos we'll be seeing around are where our ancestors were chained to from different camps. So it's not one group who brought all these people here. There are different groups that led different slaves from wherever they got them from until they finally get here. So they use those bamboos as storage facilities. There were no buildings around here at the time. No building. Total forest. So they'll be kept there depending on how long they'll be here before the arrival of the Europeans. There are instances it takes over 1 month before the Europeans finally get to the park here to get access to these individuals. After they are sold off, these individuals are forced to leave behind their own names, and then they take marks that they use as means of identifying them. That act of putting that mark on them is known as the branding. When we get to the river, we'll talk about all of these activities in detail. Stepping into the water. When we get there, we'll take off the footwear before we step into the river. This is the last part. Okay, so we are finally at the Asenmanso Ancestral River in the slave market. This is where our ancestors who were kidnapped brought all the way to this place were chained to. Our ancestors were chained to the bamboos we have around here. We chain them here, sometimes they stay here for over a month, waiting for the arrival of the Europeans who came from the castle. Whether rain or shine, our ancestors were being kept here, waiting for the arrival of the merchants to come and get access to them. Please, let's walk close to this section and then we talk about the last bath. From this section, we have two different rivers. The one flowing from that direction is known as Nana Emisan, but the locals here call it Ochi. Ochi basically means it grabs. Ochi. The one you see here, if you look at it well, you see that we have two different colors from this section. The one that comes from this direction is known as the Donko Nsio. So Donko is slave and Nsio is water in our language. So this is the slave water. But I prefer to call it captive's water than calling it slave water. It's in this river that our ancestors had their very last bath before they were taken away. When they sense that it's about time for the Europeans to get here, they take our ancestors into this river, still in chains and in shackles, to go and have their final bath on the motherland before they were taken. They go in there, they use the back of the bamboo or the leaves of the bamboo to clean themselves in place of the spray I use now. When they are done bathing, they bring them to the middle here for their body to dry off the water that is on their skin. They apply shea butter for them to look fresh and shiny. They use a tool called a speculum oris. They put it into their mouth, they whine it. As many times as they are whining, that's how wide open their mouth will be. It tells them to be able to count their teeth to have a fair idea how old they are. They use broken mirror in taking off the bushy hair and the bushy beard of the young men. All of these activities are preparatory activities, so that when our ancestors are taken here to the market, they'll be able to be sold off in a very presentable way so that they can make gains from there. We're making a short walk to that section and then we talk about that sales activity from here. Whilst they are in the river, they will still have the chains on them, sometimes on their feet, sometimes on their neck. So what we have on the board here, the chain is on their neck from here. So we'll come this way and then we'll talk about the sales from here. So still in chains and in shackles after they have their very last bath from that section. That is the final bath they have on the motherland before they were sold off into slavery. So after preparing them from that section, they are brought to the market proper. The Europeans came from three main castles, Cape Coast Castle, Elmina Castle and Port Amsterdam. They come here not with money, but they come here with certain European goods. Goods such as gun, gunpowder, sugar, mirror, beads, gin. These were the items they would bring. They looked through the captives that were brought here The very strong ones were the ones they were looking for. So they open their mouth, they see how healthy their mouth teeth are, they see their physicals, they decide on those who are fit from this place. They are the ones they were looking for. So they will bring those European goods and exchange them for this captives they brought to the park here. The weak ones were the ones we refer as the rejected ones. On occasions where they are able to sell many, the raiders are able to sell many of their people, those weak ones were left in the park here to their fate. Those who died here were dumped into the river we came from, or were dumped into the bamboo plantation over here. But on a bad day for the raiders, a day they are not able to sell many of their people, out of anger, each and every one of them were shot, killed, and dumped into the river and the bamboo plantation over here. Those who were bought from here were forced to leave behind their names. Their names, which was our way of identifying this individual. They will be putting new identity on them. They put metal into fire. When the metal is red hot, they use that hot metal to make marks on them. Either the chest, the shoulder, or the back. That act of selling them from the hands of the raiders to the hands of the merchant is known as the auction. But on this stretch of hours, the first happens in Ascent Mountain here. That is the first auction they are doing here. The mark they put on them is known as the branding. The first of its kind done here. That is what they are doing to the young man on the board behind us. The branding and the auctioning doesn't end here. There are instances they get to the castles, they are sold off again. They get to the new one, they are sold off again. So as many times as they are being sold into slavery, that is the number of times they'll be putting these hot metal marks on them. All the way till they finally get to the new world and then being placed on the plantations to work over there. After the site was built, two mortal remains of our ancestors who were taken away to the new world were brought back to the park here, a male and a female. They were buried in the ancestral graveyard. So when we get there, I will tell you more about that activity, the year in which they were brought and where they were brought from. When the site was built, we get several of our brothers and sisters coming back to the park here. But we are not going to use the very last bath to have access to the water, because this is not our last bath here. It's our prayer that you'll be able to come here as many times as our ancestors give you the opportunity to come. So we'll be passing through the first part of return, because this
so I get a coin?
Coin. Do you have some?
I don't.
No. So if you don't, so they continued and walked on this path, the same path we are walking on. This is the path our ancestors walked on at the time, still in chains and in shackles. They were taken to the castles kept in the dungeons. Those dungeons were without washroom, without proper ventilation, without proper lighting. But that was where they were being kept in. So they ease themselves or they defecate in that room, they sleep in the same room, and they eat in that same room with very poor ventilation. So you can imagine the stench in a facility like that. That is why they stayed until it is time for them to be taken out. This is also another nice spot for taking pictures as well. Until it is time for them. Okay, so this is the ancestral graveyard that I was telling you when we were coming back. So those two individuals who I told you were taken to the castles, taken through the door of no return. They were brought to Ascent Mansion here to be buried. A lady and a gentleman. This is the mortal remains of the lady buried in the graveyard over here. Her name was Lady Crystal, brought all the way from Jamaica to Ascent Mansion here to be buried in a better and a proper way. The one over here is Samuel Carson, a young black man taken to the United States, went through the army, fought several wars, but because of his identity, he wasn't given a befitting burial. The third one we have here is a collection of bones brought to the park here in the year 2019. The first ship that left the shores of Africa with documented black slaves left in the year 1619. 1619. So 2019 was exactly 400 years after the first ship left the shores of Africa with documented black slaves. That ship left in the year 1619. So 2019 was exactly 400 years. So all the way from January to December was declared as the year of return. It's to open the door for many of our brothers and sisters to be able to come back to the motherland here, to have this connection from here. So when the Prime Minister of Barbados was coming, they did an excavation in the slave cemetery. The bones they got from that cemetery were placed in a casket, flown all the way from Barbados to Ghana here, and brought to Ascent Mansion here to be buried. That is the third grave we have. So this is a collection of bones from Barbados. This is one individual, Samuel Carson, brought from the United States of America. And then the third one is Lady Crystal, one person brought from Jamaica. Lady Crystal representing our brothers and sisters in the West Indies. Samuel Carson represents those in the Americas, and the collection here representing those brought from the Caribbean. The pictures we have on the wall are individuals we refer to as the freedom fighters. These are individuals who fought against oppressors' rule from all that time up until the formation of various and it's called the Black Race. The door is made short this way, not by mistake, but to give opportunity to us. By any time we are entering, we do a bit of my children, we are taking away from our ancestors in the house of them that died in the ground. If there is any question, it's very simple.
Were you able to take?
So I am from the town. So you mean those coming back? I'm from the town here, so I'm coming from the town.
Like Amber.
So from us, we are able to trace our ancestors because they are already from the place here. So thank you very much for coming to Ascent Mansion.
Exactly what it is.
Ghana. Beautiful. Ocean, sound of the ocean. This morning is just a blessing, a true blessing to be here in Ghana. So of course we are here in Ghana, and we moved to another hotel because we wanted to get a real experience. We was at the Kempinski Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel. It's where all the dignitaries come, and I should have some photos of that. But here now we're at this spot, and guess what we got? See this village? I'm loving it because although they have like probably regular size room hotels, beautiful thing is you get to experience the hut like experience. So this is where we'll stand. And this is where we are. Now, before I go into this room, because I just got up this morning, let's see. Alright, so this is how it looks inside of the room. Check that out. Neat, right? Now, I'm not showing you my bed because we just got up, but this is like real stone, how they designed this. But it's beautiful. I'm gonna close the door because the mosquitoes here don't play. And then we don't need to be catching nothing. But and this is just the bathroom area. But beautiful experience. I like it. Cozy. They had bigger spacious rooms like the normal rooms, but this gives you like the feel of being in a village.